Hello Warpath commanders, this is legendary 1 Vancouver map and the results are out because it's pretty much done now that who will win the C4 because as I expected, as I said in one of my previous videos that if you focus on just taking on one side, the enemies will also descend on that one side and that makes it harder for you to progress and get inside because you will be blocked. So when this side was secure, they don't have to worry about building on this side. They can totally forget that side. This side was secured by F2P, FC05 and S40 had completely secured this northern front as well, PA58. S40 built the CC, they covered this side from Goth to entering this ocean to get to this blockhouse right here, like this one. So Goth can't do this, and the whole point of them being able to take this was somehow they can wait a minute, to somehow they will be able to make land progress here, and in order to do that they had to make sure 300 had to pull their CC and build somewhere around here at the time as well. So I don't know if they tried because I was offline. And there were WRK and NNN, they were pretty much trapped, but they should have tried to build here somewhere to support the Goth. That was their only chance to get to this blockhouse and get an entry inside and maybe then contest and do fighting here with all the allies. So but that didn't happen, so they didn't build it. They just went for the side push. I think the Goths thinking was that they won't be able to fight all these alliances and their army groups here. They might be have tried, I don't know. So they decided, in my opinion, to go for the ocean because they thought S40 didn't have CC here, I believe. So they thought they will be able to get in the ocean and maybe have a try that way. But that didn't work out. So it's pretty much over for Goth 300 and WRK and NNN. They have lost this 3-4. It was looking pretty dim for them earlier on as well because Goths are the heavyweights, but 300 are not as strong. Some players might have left them. So this is it. This is the result, guys. This is pretty much over. We will go down and take a look. If you want me to, there will be bases everywhere probably. Yeah, F2P, they are pushing and attacking Goth probably on the north. Yeah, there's a fight going on here. So this is the problem. When you go focus on the one side, the enemies also come to that side. Offense is the best defense. This has been my saying. If you are trying to divert enemy attention and secure one side, you have to attack on the other side, on the complete opposite side, to be able to make them saturated. Now they are just wiping out clean everyone, and there's not even much going on. There's no air force cover for protection and everything. I don't know what's going on. So not a lot of AGs. So it's over for them. 300 are missing from action. Probably they're off time, I believe. So yeah, without all 4 lances chipping in, it was very hard anyways. Even if they had tried to go for the blockhouse, it would have been very hard. So Goth alone can't pull the weight for all the other alliances. And F2P in comparison and FC05 are quite seasoned alliances compared to WRK and NNN. So that's why they haven't been able to, get in. Some 300 bases are here, but not a lot of them. So yeah, they couldn't build up to here. uh, at least they should have gotten to this line, at least like build it up there. So I don't know, but they will probably lose territory now. They will be squeezed further back by FC05, and PA58 will try to build towards them, secure this whole area and block them further, push them further back with S4T's help and F2P's help, and this is just not looking good. It's over, pretty much over for Goth and allies now. Gaga the leader of PA58. So yeah, they're quite aggressive right now. I was actually quite busy, so I missed the action. So I don't know what actually went down, but it was my guess that Goth won't make it because it was very hard anyways. They don't have that many army groups going on. It was probably early in the morning for them, so they tried, but this is all they could do. They've all been burned once, so there must have been a big fight earlier on. Yeah, they are getting cleaned. Yeah, they God don't even have army groups running, so FC05, F2P, S40, they're just running freely now. Goth are alone most of the time. Like, there's very little 300 WRK and NNN players here, so it's pretty much over for Goth. I think there was a strength difference overall in this C4. It was not very balanced, in my opinion, the matchmaking. The teams, actually, not the matchmaking. Because 300 is not. 300 is missing some players. I don't know. They've lost some power, so I don't know. Swing Song is leading, but he is not as active as. And one player doesn't make a difference. It's a group game. If you're running efficient army groups more than the other teams are, then you are gonna succeed against Wales. So Goth have recruited a lot of Wales, and they have become very strong alliance. But their army group game is not up to par with S40. Still, S40 has Wales, but their army group games is very high. They run 6 to 7 groups, even 8 at times. So they have like very good synergy and everything. Despite having Wales and all that, they can solo players and they can run army groups. So this was it from Legendary 1. It will be, I think, good enough for NNN to keep this arms factory and block them from getting it, and 300 to be able to take that arms factory. So that's the only buildings they are gonna keep, in my opinion, because they're not getting any Central Hub or blockhouses, anything of this sort. They can together make a move, build CC somewhere, but will they be able to retain the buildings they take? That is the hard part. So yeah, there may be something that needs, I think, the strategy. God, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, so I'm not that experienced, but I've played a lot of strategy games. So in my opinion, Goth made a mistake right from the start of the C4. What they did was they tried to fight FC05 here and S40 here at the same time. Now that made sure that you're fighting two tough alliances on same days against one being alone. And Goth is powerful, no doubt, but if you're fighting two alliances equal to your size almost, then you're losing reserves. And against two, the numbers will overwhelm you. And when you're losing reserves, there's a limit to how many players can actually spend money on buying reserves. And when you go out of reserves, or most of your alliance goes out of the reserves, then your game starts being less active. And that's where your whales might be buying reserves, they might do 1 versus 1, but the army group game becomes less when they keep running, the lower players keep running out of the reserves, right? So they shouldn't have engaged with two alliances in the beginning of the map. Like, why would you do that? It was not about strength or trying to block the two alliances. They were just trying to secure this arms factory by blocking as FC05 like around here and S40 around here. This portion. So it was a mistake trying to overdo this and trying to then build back to their own settlement. I think they should have just realized much earlier that this is a waste of reserves. We are gonna lose eventually. So they should have tried to. They had a huge advantage that both Goth and 300 settlements were near. So they should have, like, in my opinion, in the start, just tried to secure these areas. These areas. This is where the fight should have taken place. Even if they don't have that strong navy compared to F2P or S40 or whatever. This fight happened late actually. You saw the big fight that took place here. That was after S40 had built all this area. And they were trying to burn it down and take it back. So that was the problem. It was after as Goth had lost so many reserves and wasted 2 or 3 days trying to defend this arms factory. So that was late. They should have ignored that arms factory and tried not to secure it and just went for these ocean forts here, both 300 and Goth combined. So that should have been their priority, but their coordination and communication was lackluster, in my opinion, between 300 and Goth. So they could have done better job, even if they would have lost. I think they should have lost less reserves on trying to secure the arms factory. That's my opinion. They still might would have lost. Didn't make a difference maybe. But in my opinion, that was a waste of reserves trying to fight for the arms factory when even anyone, a player, a noob like me, can see that they won't lost. You might be able to hold them for 2 days, 3 days, as 40 and FC05 together, but you won't be able to hold them for more than a week. So eventually you will lose this. So why keep losing reserves on a losing battle? That is my thinking. And when they had built this side, they would have secured the whole part, this land fort as well, not just the one they got took. This was the mistake they did. They didn't try to rush or focus their spot. They secured this area, but then they started losing this, and they thought one fort is gonna be enough. That's not enough. So they should have like kept the arms factories both, but also taken both the land forts. So they should have secured both land forts. Had they had both land forts, things might would have looked slightly different. They would have been able to get this land blockhouse that way. If you give one to others and all other alliances, other sides are secure, then they will come in. So that's a bad strategic move in my opinion. So they should have tried much faster and much harder earlier on to not lose this fort when they were here. NNN and WRK, then Goth and 300 should have helped them here. And this side would have been secured like that, and that might would have been a change. Then you might would have blocked F2P from getting onto the land, and all these PF58 getting into the blockhouses and all that. That in my opinion was a strategy that they didn't read in the time, or maybe they realized late, and then there was not enough firepower that they could take the other land fort. So timely decisions and actions matter a lot. You have to see the bigger picture and read the map very carefully, that how will situation develop and how will we land in what place at the end of when the blockhouses will open. So this is just my take as an overviewer who has been watching. So this is how I see things. Obviously the strength difference was there, so they had very less chances of winning actually, but still, in my opinion, the other land house part was something they should have really focused in the beginning. Realizing that they can't win. On the other front, the arms factory should have been left in the first 2 days. They thought it would be worth it to keep the arms factory and lose the other buildings, but in my opinion, they should have tried for this land fort, the second one, because they lost arms factory anyways, that one. So yeah, now it's just too many alliances versus very few players.